Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about a few things regarding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ICOs. So today Bitcoin actually hit another all-time high of over $8,300. That's crazy. It's just been on a crazy rally and it hasn't stopped. So hopefully we'll see it go even higher towards the end of the year. And there's a couple reasons why it's actually been rising. So as we look at this graph here, we can see a little ascending triangle right now in Bitcoin. We can see it came to a point here that when it broke that $8,000 mark, it just shot up and it's gone a little bit higher than $8,300. So there's definitely some good technicals here. We can see the RSI right now is looking a little overbought. This is on the 4-hour charts. If we go to the 1-hour chart, we can see the ascending triangle is a little bit more prominent here. You can see how it's in this upward channel and then it just broke out of that triangle and now it's, hitting for new highs. So the RSI on the 1-hour chart is a little bit better. We can see, it's come down to about the 60 level for the RSI. So it could have some more potential upside from here, or it may cool off a little more. But this definitely is bullish action for Bitcoin, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes and moving forward. So some news fueling that rise. Actually recently, as you know, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is announcing trading futures with Bitcoin in Q4 of 2017. But they've actually set a more concrete date. So on news.bitcoin.com, you can see that it says the firm, just this week, the firm plans to launch its derivatives products on December 10th pending regulatory approval. So it says here that CME has released its futures market specs, and on November 19th, the date was revealed to launch time pending U.S. regulatory approval. And then it says, effective Sunday, 10 December 2017, for trade date Monday, 11th December 2017, and pending all relevant regulatory review periods, please be advised that CME will launch Bitcoin futures. So that's great for anyone tracking Bitcoin futures. I mean, for them to say they're going to release, launch it on December 10th and start trading on December 11th, I mean, that's less than 3 weeks away. So that's going to come fast, and that's going to have a big effect on Bitcoin. There's actually a lot of investors, a lot of big-time financial analysts, including Max Kaiser and then billionaire hedge fund investor Mike Novogratz. They predicted the price of Bitcoin to achieve $10,000 mark in the short term. So a lot of people are calling for $10,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. Another big news was Ledger X, the U.S. Commodities and Future Trading Commission, approved Bitcoin derivatives, options, and future exchange. Then they processed their first Bitcoin options contract. And it says the buyer pegged its option contract at $10,000. So what that means is basically by the end of December 28th, if the price of Bitcoin is over $10,000 or close to it, then this buyer will be in profit for his option contract. So basically option contracts are, you're saying that you think the price will be above or below a certain price in X number of days. And if you're right, then you can get a lot of profit. As well as if you're wrong, you can lose a lot of money. So it's risky, but again, there's chance for big returns. So for this investor, one, to buy an options contract at $10,000 says a lot. There's definitely some optimism regarding Bitcoin and a lot of people thinking that it'll reach $10,000 in the short term. So saying here, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong revealed that approximately $10 billion in institutional money is awaiting to be invested in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So if you remember, Coinbase was launching their new platform where they would let institutional investors store their clients' funds, kind of like a safe haven for their clients' money. And I forgot what it was called, but I think it was called a custody. And basically, it's a storage place to where investors with a lot of clients and high net worth individuals, they can store all of their money in there. So it provides a safe haven, and they can keep their money safe, from any type of hacking or anything like that. So Coinbase is in touch with institutional investors, so they know exactly how many people are going to be investing and how much interest there is. So for $10 billion waiting to be invested in Bitcoin, I mean, that's crazy. That's going to shoot up the price like crazy. So right now the market cap of Bitcoin is, I believe, about $55 billion. Actually, let's check right now how much. So right now, Bitcoin's market cap is 56%. So it's $137 billion. So an extra 10%, a little less than 10% more money is going to be added just from institutional investors. And that's just right now. So that's a lot of money. That's great for Bitcoin. That's great for investors and people investing in Bitcoin. So it's a great time. And for this short-term target of $10,000, I mean, you hear this number more and more. So we'll be interested to see where it goes in the future and how high we do get once the futures launch. So that's some good news. Another good news for any of y'all that have heard about buying domain names and reselling them. I mean, it's a big market, and right now cryptocurrency domain names seem to be the hot commodity. So just recently, a Ethereum.com domain is up for sale for $10 million. So that's insane. It's been listed for sale on the Unit Registry Marketplace for around $10 million. And it says that cryptocurrency domain related domains have grown in value much faster than other names. So a guy here said that a few months ago he paid $800 for InsideCoins.com, and now that it's already tripled in value. So there's a lot of money to be made in crypto domain names, and apparently these people are cashing in on it. So last month, an investor by the name of Shajil Salim closed a $2 million sale of ETH.com. So that's crazy. So that's not even the full Ethereum name. So there's no telling if if this domain gets sold for this price, expect a lot more attention to cryptocurrencies. We'll definitely see a lot more, and even more than we've already seen. So I thought this was great. It's a great little article, and it brings cryptocurrencies to the forefront if they weren't already. So a lot of people have their eyes on the crypto market, and we're just, it's just getting more and more investors into it. So, and actually Ethereum's been rising a lot too. Today, I believe it was over 3 or 4%, and it's up to nearly its highs of $370 that it hasn't seen since September. So it's reaching new all-time highs. They've been working on their scaling solutions, just making their transaction times faster and increasing their size, and they're doing a lot of great things right now, and they're continuing to work on those improvements. So we can see, it's just risen, and the price has reflected that. So expect a lot more attention for Ethereum. There's been a lot more talks of it, being a big competitor to Bitcoin still. So keep an eye on Ethereum. Definitely could see it rise in the future. And I drew here, we can see a resistance line. It broke that resistance. It was in a channel for a while on the 4-hour chart, and it finally broke that, and it's just, skyrocketed since then. So that's great news for Ethereum, and definitely look forward to seeing what they have to offer in the future. So on the topic of Ethereum, there's actually an ICO, an Ethereum startup ICO, that vanished after people invested over $370,000 in it. So this is one of the dark sides of ICOs. As you've heard, a lot of ICOs, sometimes they just vanish after investors have put in their money. And so this is just a thing to always be careful with ICOs. It says a startup on the Ethereum platform vanished from the internet on Sunday after raising $374,000 from investors in an ICO. And the ICO startup was Confido, and they pitched themselves as a blockchain-based app for making payments and tracking shipments. So the ICO ran from November 6th to 8th, and it gave sold digital tokens to investors. And then on Sunday, they unceremoniously deleted their Twitter account, took down their website, and a company representative posted a brief comment that saying on the non-private subforum Reddit, citing legal problems that prevent Confido's team from continuing their work. Basically, they say they're in a tight spot and they don't know if they'll be able to get through it. A lot of legal reasons, and then that was taken away as well. A lot of articles they wrote on Medium, those have been taken down. And if you go to their website here, Confido.io, that's taken down. So again, this is just a message. Always be careful with ICOs that you invest in. You never know exactly, who the people are behind that. So I've invested in a couple myself, but again, make sure they have a real product, make sure they have a real team. They're actually putting out updates, they're actually showing you what they're doing, and there's a lot of people behind it. So a lot of these ICOs, you know, they're real shady, and they don't really put themselves out there. You know, they just post stuff online and you don't really see them or what they're working on. So make sure there's a big backing behind it. You know, there's actual proof of what they're doing, so that you can, you know, protect yourself as much as possible from falling to these scams. Because there are some good ICOs out there. You know, Raiden, Dragon Chain, a couple others, but those are the big names that, you know, a lot of people talk about. So you can be almost sure that those are safer bets versus some of these that, you know, people don't really hear about. So that's just my 2 cents. If you enjoyed the video, you know, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe. I post content like this daily, and try to help people out any way I can. So with that, thanks for watching. See you next time.